Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us. Hey, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson. Always a delight and a joy to have Treva Kuyper with us today. She heads up the Loft Ministries here in Southern Oregon, and I tell you what, I can't say enough about the impact that this ministry is having on young girls and the heart that her and her team have to help young girls kind of navigate through all the challenges of life. And you're coming up to the end, huh?
We
or
are.
At least for this season.
For this season, we are, yes. We meet this Sunday at 5:30. It's the end of the year party that we're having.
Party?
Yes.
Well, I might come to that. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so it's over there at the Community Bible Church in Central Point. I still think you ought to franchise this ministry, and I say that, I don't know how else to say it, but it needs to go to every church out there, you know, because you really have hit a nerve with this. So what's your last topic besides Party Hardy?
Well, our theme is called Back to the Future.
Okay.
And we just want to help the girls, now that this is the end of the school year, we want to help them look into their future and how can they plan for it, how can they live with courage and not in fear. A lot of, even adults, we fear the future, we fear tomorrow. And so we just want to encourage them. We want to leave them on a great note of hope and encouragement that they don't have to walk in fear of the future. You know,
and you see it too, I know you do, Treva, and that is a lot of the research shows that kids, they don't believe in the future. They just they don't see it like maybe you and I saw it, that there was something out there for us to do and obtain and be.
Right.
They're just kind of like, well, whatever.
Right.
What's the next day? I'll just go to that. You know?
Right. It's hard for young people to see the future. And sometimes if right now their present is difficult, it's hard for them to believe that there's anything good out there tomorrow or a year from now or 5 years from now. They don't look that far ahead. And some of them are just very discouraged and defeated. But you know, this Sunday, we're going to celebrate this year. We're going to celebrate them. Hawaiian Hut is catering our dinner.
Whoa.
So they're going to have a wonderful dinner. And then we're going to celebrate our seniors that are graduating and talk to some of those seniors about what they're doing next year and for them to walk in courage. And we have 8th graders that are going to be freshmen, and they're so precious, but they're scared to go into high school. That's a big step.
Yeah.
And just to encourage them and give them some strength in looking forward to that and not being fearful of it.
This is for girls 8th grade through 12th grade, and it's just so impacting. And I mean this sincerely. If you are looking for a ministry to impact girls, you may want to get a hold of Treva and her team, and maybe next year attend these, so the following year you can maybe do it in your own church. Let me ask you this. How would you rate this past session, this past season of girls? How did it go for you?
It went great. It went great. We have seen girls come to Christ, accept Christ as their Savior. We've seen girls walk away with encouragement and hope. We've had laughter and tears and hard times because we talk about a lot of serious things.
Boy, do you ever.
And we're very honest with the girls. So every Loft night we have a time of Q&A where the girls get to ask questions and we answer them, and we're as honest as we can be with the girls. And so we've seen girls just grow this year, and also in friendship with one another, with their leaders. There's it's like a small family there, and there's a lot of fellowship that goes on. Girls look forward to coming to the Loft, and we just love it. We love to pour into them that truth that God is for us. He's not against us, and we can have hope in Him.
How many girls did you average this go around?
We probably averaged over the year about 60 girls.
Amazing.
Yeah, and a core group of girls that continue to come back each month for each topic.
Treva, why do you think young girls fear the future? What is it about the future that scares them?
The unknown, just like all of us, that unknown. And I think that if they've had people make promises to them that aren't kept, they've had a dream that maybe they've seen die a little bit, things like that, they don't always have hope that it could be different. They kind of think that whatever they've gone through is the way it's always going to be. They don't really know any different. We want to show them that it's different. And what I love about the Loft is the testimonies. We have women that come that share their testimonies. We're able to say, look at this person's past, and now look at where they are today. And that we can have victory, and we can walk, we can have joy. We can actually have a smile every day. There's things to be joyful about. We want the girls to understand that. They don't have to quit because they're scared.
Did you fear the future?
Oh my word, yes. And I made horrible decisions as a teenager and when I was in college. So I think I was scared of myself. Am I going to just keep messing up my life? And it wasn't until the Lord got a hold of me to say, oh no, you surrender to me and I will show you the plans that I have for you. And some of the girls are victims in their life, but some of them, they create their own chaos. And they fear themselves. Am I going to make any right decision? Can I make a right decision to save my life? You know, that kind of thought process. I think our girls need to slow down. They need to slow down and they need to enjoy today.
Disengage?
Yes, and disconnect.
Disconnect, yeah.
Yes, as we all do.
Yeah.
And be in the present. Enjoy today and look at the blessings of today. And let's stop dwelling on the past. We're forgiven. Let's stop dwelling back there.
Let me say to our viewers and listeners, now this is the end of this season. You'll start up again in the fall.
Yes.
And tell people, just recap what you do. You start in the fall, you go through June, and each month you meet on a Sunday evening, and you take on subjects, I mean, I'm so glad you're doing it because for some reason churches have decided not to talk about this.
Well, it's scary.
Yeah.
A lot of the topics we've talked about addictions. We talk about substance abuse. We've talked about cutting. This year we've done beauty, body image, netiquette, online safety, divorce and blended families, anxiety, loss and grief. Last month we talked about sex and relationships, and those are scary topics to stand before 60 girls and not only share my own story, not only have other women come and share their stories and be vulnerable, but then we love those girls so much that you want them to walk away with a change.
Because I really think, it's one of my little pet peeves lately, I just really think the church needs to take back sex education. We need to take this back. We need to be presenting it to young people from a biblical perspective. We shouldn't be advocating our responsibility to the school or anything else. This should be right out of the church.
Oh, absolutely. And our topic last month was so wonderful. It was intense. It was intense. I was blushing on and off through the whole night, but it was so good because we were able to take it back. We were able to be honest and sincere with these girls, but let's go back to why God even made sex. Let's go back to the very beginning. And what happens is when things get so out of hand and so out of control, they're desensitized to truth. They're desensitized to the idea that sex is a gift from God. That's something that some of them have never even heard before.
Yeah, because you know, last time I was at Focus on the Family a couple of years ago, they had they have these 8 points of pillars of their ministry, and the last one they put up was just about 2 years ago, and that was what it was to be created as a boy and what it was to be created as a girl. What God had in mind when he created little boys and created little girls, and the distinctive between the two.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, there was no gender confusion at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he made us both in his image, and when you're married you can see how that works. My husband and I are so very different, but when we work together by the Spirit, you see this beautiful thing that happens.
How was the response to that, to the girls?
It was really great. What was wonderful is 3 days later we took 50 girls to the Silver Ring thing. So they literally were with us on a Sunday night and at the Silver Ring thing on a Wednesday night, and the two ministries together painted this beautiful picture of how God created sex and what it was intended for. And so we had great feedback. The girls loved both nights. Both nights, yeah.
Wow. Girls coming to Christ for the first time?
Yes. Yes, and I have said from the very beginning, I've told
them. No, they came as friends with somebody else?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
That's the whole
point.
point.
They came with friends, yes. Yeah. We have lots of visitors. Every month we have lots of visitors. I told Patty, our other co-director, at the beginning of this whole thing, if one girl is saved, just one, then that's it. That's it. Right? Just one for eternity. And when we find the girls accepting Christ, I mean, there's tears there. I'm a mess, but yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and we have some girls. You know, when we share the gospel, there's girls that don't come back. You know, but that is okay.
But you planted seeds.
We planted seeds, and they heard the truth. And you know what? I was that teenager. I was the friend brought to youth group, the friend brought to church.
Really?
I was, and I didn't grow up in church. Yeah. So I understand that, and I'm okay with it. Come. And if you only come once, praise the Lord. You know, they heard the truth.
Yeah, because that will bear fruit later. You know that it goes down and begins to work in their life.
Yep. We're just one piece of the whole puzzle God's doing.
Of all the topics you covered, and you did a lot. I mean, from sex to what would you call this one?
Netiquette, when we did online safety.
Yeah, and beauty and all that. What one struck the nerve the most, you think?
Ooh. I would say that sex was a huge one, but besides that, I would say the divorce and blended families.
Wow.
I would say from the girls' perspective, I think that one was the most helpful for them. A lot of them could relate to that, a lot of brokenness in families and in the home. And I think that they walked away with a lot of encouragement. That's the one that I had girls sending me messages telling me that they were very encouraged by that. Because we focused on that night about you can leave a different legacy. I mean, child of 4 divorces, 5 marriages. I'm still in 1 marriage. So you can choose to leave a different legacy. You can let God work in your life.
You can break out of that cycle.
You can break out of it. Yeah, you don't have to just continue in it. And I think that was very encouraging for them.
Wow. Well, I want to just commend you and your team. I heard nothing but high remarks coming from people and parents who had their kids involved. And I got to say to folks in Southern Oregon, this ministry, I can't say enough about it, because you're tackling all the things that I think the church needs to get back in and take responsibility for. Now, you're doing it with girls. It would be great if maybe you could come up with the barn for the guys. I mean, you got the loft for the girls.
I love that, the barn. I love that.
Something, or the shop, you know. But something for the guys, because the guys need this too.
They do.
And I can't imagine being a teenager, especially from 8th grade to 12th grade, navigating through this culture and coming out the other end right side up.
Oh. Well, I don't think they do. Without help, without the Lord, without truth, they don't. They get sucked into that tornado, and I don't think they come out the other side.
All right. People want to learn more about the Loft and what you do, maybe during this off season, and work with you next year. What should they do?
Just call Community Bible Church in Central Point, and they will get them contacted to me.
Well, thank you, Treva.
You're welcome.
You guys,
thank you.
It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. All right. We'll be right back.